Alright, hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for those of you who are new here. My name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today we're going to be diving into a fresh face look. As you know from the title of this video and from the thumbnail, we're just going into a full fresh faced makeup look. This is like no makeup, but taken down a notch. So this is more of like just a my skin but better, using minimal products. So this video is going to be predominantly airbrush oriented. So hopefully this will help you guys on your day-to-day. This is something that I do daily when I am going to be in a Zoom meeting, or if I am going to be in the vicinity of other people. Safely, of course, because we are in a pandemic, but this is a quick, easy makeup look to do once you have all of the steps down and you have all of the products. This is something you can get done in 5 minutes or less. So without rambling on too much, let's just go ahead and dive into the video. So I did go ahead and prep the eyelids with Urban Decay Primer Potion, and as you can see, my brows are already filled in. Brow fills is something that I do right away when I get up, just because I have to take my dog, I have to cook the kids breakfast and everything like that, and just taking the dog alone, I like to have my brows done, okay? I have been using the Milani Weekend Brow. This is a brow pen, and I just add those hair-like strokes into the sparse areas of my brow, and then I'll go ahead and set all of the hairs in place using the Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Clear. I have been using Clear just to go ahead and lift the hairs a little bit, and I pretty much let the pen do all of the work. So that's what I have in my brows right now, just to keep it 100 with you guys. If I'm doing something more extensive or doing like the full face, then I'll go in and airbrush the brows. But for the day-to-day, I just feel like it's overkill to go ahead and try to add too many steps to the airbrush process. Now let's go ahead and get in with it. So before I go ahead and grab my airbrush, I am going to go ahead and conceal the under eye area. I have a lot of texture on the under eye area, and so sometimes when I'm airbrushing the under eye area, even if I'm spraying lightly, it can emphasize some of that texture there. So I like to go ahead and go in with a cream concealer for the under eye area, and the one I like to use is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer, and the shade that I use is the shade Medium. So I'll just take that. Okay, just a little bit there, just to go ahead and help diffuse out some of that darkness. And then I will go ahead and airbrush over top of that. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is grab my compressor. And today I'm going to be using my Pro Rechargeable compressor. I have the rose gold model. It's plugged in right here because I do have it plugged in. I'm going to go ahead and take my Kett 0.25mm airbrush, because this is the one I like to use for concealing. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take a mixture, and this is starting off with a mixture from the Neutralize and Camouflage line. I mix the shades Olive, Beige, and Vanilla together to create a concealer shade for me. Yes, that shade is fairly light. I would never use it for foundation, but for concealing, it works really well at diffusing out my blemishes, just to kind of get a nice even canvas before I go ahead and even out the skin tone. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that mixture and just add a couple drops to my compressor, and then I'm going to go ahead and conceal my blemishes. Now if you are interested in a more in-depth tutorial on how to conceal using an airbrush, I do have a tutorial that features that in my how-to playlist. So I always have those videos linked in the description box below for you if you are ever interested in advancing or kind of expanding your skill set with airbrush makeup. Definitely go ahead and go down into the description and check it out. I feel like it's going to be really helpful for you if you go ahead and check that out. I'm just going to go ahead and conceal my blemishes. Yep, that's too much. It's going to create a white cast right in the center. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that off. Use the air to dry. And then go back in and try again. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and even out my skin tone. As you can see, my blemishes are completely diffused, and now I'm going to go ahead and take Dinair's Neutralizing Camouflage line once again, and this time I'm going to be going in with shade Honey Beige. This one is my foundation shade. So at this point, you want to take your foundation shade and just airbrush a light layer over the top, just to go ahead and even everything out. You want to try to use minimal drops, because remember, it's not about being made up and that full coverage. This is like a my skin but better kind of look, so you want to make sure to keep everything nice and light, and trust me, 2 to 3 drops to even out your complexion is more than enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply maybe 3 drops. I'll show you, 1, 2, 3, just a very small amount. As you can see, there's not much in there, it's a very small amount. And now I'm just going to go ahead and airbrush a light layer over my skin. Now when you're doing a my skin but better kind of thing with airbrush makeup, it's ideal to go ahead and just airbrush the makeup in the areas that you need it. So you don't necessarily have to go over the full face. So for like me, for example, I'm going to concentrate on the areas that have the most discoloration, like right in here, on top of my brows and things like that, and just kind of blend it into the rest of my complexion. Alright, so now that my skin tone is nice and even and it's looking like my neck and chest, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the accompaniments, which is blush and bronzing. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and apply blush, and for my blush I like to use Desert Rose. I know it seems like it's going to be really deep, but this shade, for me, I am a medium tan skin tone. It just mimics a natural flush of my skin, and I feel like it looks the most natural when laid down lightly. So you definitely want to find a blush shade that is going to mimic the natural flush that you have, just to keep this as close to like no makeup as you can possibly do. So I'm just going to take 1 drop of that. 1 drop is more than enough, especially using this airbrush. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and lightly put a wash over the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, just where I would naturally flush. Keeping my distance, as you can see. Nose. Staying light on the lever. Color to the eye. There we go. Temples a little bit. As you can see, that 1 drop is going really far, and I still have more in here, so I'm going to go ahead and airbrush the rest of that out because I don't need any more. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a bronzer shade or a contour shade. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a little deeper of a contour shade. I normally use Nutmeg, but today I'm going to be going in with Dark Almond, just because I want something a little bit deeper. I just dropped it, so give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 drops of this one, because I'm covering a larger area. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it around the temples, kind of taper it in toward the center of the forehead, but not crossing over the center. I am going to go ahead and take it down here, a little bit over the bottom of the nose and the bridge, and then on the chin and jawline, as well as the ears. So let's just go ahead and get that done. And that's just going to go ahead and bring the color back to the face. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to go in with is a highlighter, and for today I'm going to be using Shine On You. I feel like it is a nice, bright, yet perfect undertone for my skin, because I lean a little bit more on medium rather than the tan side. If you're a little bit more on the tan side, I recommend going with That's Just Peachy. But for me, myself, I am going to go ahead and go in with Shine On You. I'm just going to take, let's do 2 drops, because I want to apply some to the neck and chest too. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply the highlighter down the center of the nose, top a little bit on the tear ducts as well as the brow bone as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and take it on the tops of the apples of my cheeks here, on the cupid's bow just slightly, and then finish off with some on the neck, just for a nice all-around glow. Now this glow is definitely more natural. It's not that stark Instagram or beaming kind of highlight. This is more like a natural glow that's going to add a little bit of sheen back to the skin. That way you can even more disguise the fact that you are wearing makeup, because under natural light and in the sunlight, it's just going to look like just a nice glow to the skin. Okay, and that is it for the airbrush portion. As you can see, it took about 5 products. This is the mixture that I use for concealing. If you have to mix like me, it's always great to put it in a little bottle like that. That way you don't have to mix it every time and waste product. So yeah, this is pretty much all I used to go ahead and give myself a my skin but better kind of look. I will go ahead and show you a before and after once this is all done. So let's just go ahead and finish up. So because I sprayed a little bit around the brow area, the brows look a little bit washed out, so I'm going to go back in with my Glossier Boy Brow. At this point, if you don't have as much brow hair as myself, you can go ahead and airbrush in your brows. I highly recommend using a brow pen though. I've really been liking the overall look that a brow pen gives off, because it really does create those nice little hair-like strokes. Now you can create hair-like strokes using a stencil and airbrush makeup, but that's a little bit more of an advanced technique that I've done, but I haven't showed here on my channel. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do while this is like setting in place, I'm just gonna kind of press it down just a little bit. Let that kind of lay against the skin there. Okay, now to finish off the lashes, I'm going to be taking Almay's Multi-Benefit Mascara. This is just the one that I have been using lately. I have been liking it, but I do notice that you get little flecks on the under eye area. So once this one is done, I am going to go ahead and move on to another one. I do have some recommendations from when I asked before that I will be trying to try out. You know what limits me a lot is the cost and accessibility of some of the recommendations. So if you have a good mascara that's relatively affordable and easily accessible, please put it in the comment section below, because I'm dying for something that doesn't flake on me, but it's also something that is nourishing and is easy to take off, because I don't like anything that is too hard to take off. I have a lot of texture around the eye area. My eye area is very sensitive, so I can't have something that is completely budge proof. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish off the lips. Now I know we're wearing masks and all of that stuff, so it's like, why would you need to do the lips? Well, my lips have a lot of crazy discoloration around. It's just genetic. It's from my ethnic background. So I have a lot of darkness on the upper lip as opposed to the bottom, and then on the outer rim of my lip it's also a different color from the center. I also have a birthmark here. So when I'm doing meetings on Zoom with my kids' teachers, or any other meetings that I have to do on Zoom, especially because everything now is like Zoom based or Skype based or FaceTime, I like to go ahead and kind of fill in my lips and give it a nice fill. So the color that I like to use is no surprise here. It's Milani's Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade 04 Natural. I know I say this every time. I have to get a new one. I love this one, and it's kind of hard to find. They had a sale, and so they were sold out of a lot of the colors. I was able to pick up one other color that I like, but this one is definitely not for my normal natural days. I find that 04 Natural works the best for me. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the lips to get it nice and even. As you can see, this color like really matches that inner tone to the lips on the bottom, so it really like evens everything out. Cover my birthmark a little, and the corners, because the corners are always darker. Okay, so now that everything is pretty much even, I like to go ahead and top it with a little bit of gloss, because I like a little bit of juice. And the shade that I like to go ahead and pair this one with is Almond Butter. This is Dose of Colors Gloss in the shade Almond Butter. And I'll just apply it to the center, just a little, not much, just to give my lips a little bit of juice, like a natural sheen. Not too much. And that is about it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of zhuzh the hair a little bit, and I'll be right back to show you the before and after and wrap out this video. So give me 1 second. Alright, so this is the finished look. I'm going to go ahead and go right into the before and after, so you can go ahead and check that out. But as you can see, the face is still very, very soft. I feel like when you typically see no makeup looks here on social media, it could still look pretty made up on camera, which leads me to typically believe that it looks made up in person as well. So by doing it with the airbrush, I feel like it is a step down from the no makeup look and dives more into the my skin but better kind of realm, just because you can still see my skin through the makeup and it looks like everything is nice and even. I have a nice natural flush, a natural glow and everything, but it is a lot more difficult to really tell if I'm wearing makeup or not. And that's one of the reasons why I love airbrush makeup and why I have been using it for so long. I just feel like I can really get that my skin but better kind of makeup look using minimal products, super quick and super easy, and it is one of those things that just kind of stays in my routine no matter what. Airbrush makeup and the look and finish that I get from it, especially over the years, as you can see if you've been following my journey, my style has changed quite a bit. I'm a little bit more myself these days and I'm a lot more comfortable with the style of makeup that I like to wear, so that's what I share, which is the my skin but better or the no makeup kind of look when I'm not getting glam, which is typically not hardly ever. That I rarely go on events or things like that that require a full face of makeup or a full beat, and I definitely don't walk around with a full beat, so this is the kind of look that you will see me in on the day-to-day. And I absolutely love Dinair's makeup for this because, like I said, I can use minimal product and it looks completely natural on the skin, on camera and in person. I will go ahead and show you a close-up of the face here so you can see a little bit closer, just so you can go ahead and see that what the skin looks like and everything a little bit closer. It does look very natural, it's very soft, it's definitely a step up from where I started at not having any makeup, with my blemishes and flaws and redness diffused out. I have a really nice flush on the skin, a nice little natural looking glow as well, and I just feel a lot more put together and a lot more confident. So that about wraps it out for this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful, especially in these times. At this point, I just want to go ahead and make myself feel good. So hopefully this kind of makeup makes you feel a little bit better about going on your day to day. It definitely helps me a lot, so I hope you guys go ahead and give this kind of makeup a try. Give this kind of wear a try, especially if you're used to wearing a little bit heavier makeup. Maybe try scaling it down a little bit and just kind of seeing how you feel once you go ahead and do that. You never know, you might like it a lot. Alright, so that's about it for this video. I'm not going to ramble on too much, but if you did go ahead and make it to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It really makes my day to know that there are those of you who are making it to the end of the video and watching the videos in its entirety, and I'm really enjoying this whole emoji thing. So if you did go ahead and make it to the end of the video, if you would please, in the comment section below, put a cup of tea emoji because it's nice, relaxed, calm, which is what I feel like when I am rocking this kind of makeup look. Go ahead and please put that emoji in the description box below. And if you are watching from a PC, just type the words "a tea time" and I will know that you are one of those who did make it to the end of the video. Alright loves, thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!